have sucked with an entire.
Yeah, because we had
disco
our
band.
cars parked there from getting on the, from when we flew out. So we kind of had to drive by there. So one car dropped some people at
Is it the
Owatonna
high,
and
because I
had,
saw someone else on
like,
Facebook, is there, is
they
it?
picked up a bunch of kids, I think, in Owatonna.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that'd be-
drove back to New Ulm.
Yeah, the ones that chose to go, yeah.
The car still went on to
Those are fun things.
Minneapolis. St. Paul.
At summer after 8th grade, they usually go, but they didn't get to go last year.
Yeah,
because
it was
of COVID.
wild. I've never,
So they took
I've never been one of those people that drive kind of all night, so it was quite the experience for me.
I think we're on. Good afternoon. I'll call to order the meeting of the New Ulm Public Utilities for the month of June 2022. First, we have our consent agenda.
President Heine, if I could just add a comment. This became aware of after the director's report went out, but just for your information, the airport tower cleaning is going to start the week of July 11th, so we should see that probably done by the end of that week or the end of the following week, so.
The water tower, you mean?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Thanks. Okay, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second.
Any discussion, further discussion on the items of the consent agenda? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have our employee of the month, who is Jared Landsteiner this month.
Yes, Jared is a wastewater operator within the wastewater department. He is Employee of the Month for May. Jared began working in the wastewater department as a helper in October of 2002 and currently is an operator. He has a Class B wastewater license and a Type 4 land application licensure. Jared helps wherever is needed as a reliable employee. He gets along well with his cohorts and is not afraid to tackle any jobs. So congratulations, Jared.
Yes, thank you, Jared.
I'll offer the motion to recognize Jared Landsteiner, wastewater operator with the wastewater department, as Employee of the Month for May 2022.
Second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under new business, mileage reimbursement rate.
Commissioners, the IRS recently released a statement just saying they were increasing it for the rest of the year, I'm sure due to the fuel cost. So this just brings us in line with the IRS policy for the year.
Would I say 62 cents?
2.5.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to receive notice that the city's and PUC's mileage reimbursement rate is increasing to 62.5 cents per mile effective July 1st, 2022, concurrent with mileage rate set by the United States Internal Revenue Service.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we need to consider approval of the financial report that we had presented to us on, June
Last Tuesday, so.
last, I want to say 21. Yeah, 20, okay.
Yeah, I have no information to add to that. It was presented at the meeting before the council, so.
Right.
I'll offer the motion to receive the annual financial report for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021 for the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission.
Second.
I suppose we should note that I think that the conclusion were that we were in good shape and all of our records were, yeah, okay. Any other discussion on the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is a proposed revision to the personnel policy manual, and Shauna's here. Hi.
All right. Thank you, President Heine, Commissioner Shauna Boomgarden, HR Director. I'm asking the PUC Commission to approve changes to compensate all non-union, non-exempt employees at an overtime rate for hours worked in excess of 40 hours in a calendar week instead of 8 hours in a workday. The council approved this change at the June 21st meeting, and it'll allow employees more flexibility. May also reduce some overtime if employees would rather flex hours on another day. So, yeah, we're looking to make that change for both the PUC and the city.
Did anybody have any problem with it?
No,
Okay.
they were yeah,
I mean,
people.
supervisors and so forth? no?
Yes.
Okay.
I watched that city council meeting and everybody was in favor of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, you know, we need to be more flexible this day and age, and I think this will help us with just being more flexible with employees. If they have something going on, they need to change their hours a bit, or, you know, they go to council meetings, have to work a little bit more, maybe want to take off a little bit early on a Friday, so, that's why we're looking to make the change at this time.
I will make the motion to approve the revision to Section 4.3 of the City PUC Personnel Policy Manual, which would be effective on June 29th, 2022.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Shauna.
Yep.
All right, a facilities upgrade for the wastewater plant. Dan?
Yeah, you'll notice this is Phase 2. Last year, we did Phase 1, which were the immediate concerns. These were more the secondary concerns that LNS put forward in their report. Some places that you'll read, it says structural review. Actually, it was more of a safety structural review. It wasn't looking at foundations of buildings and stuff. It was more fall restraints, catwalks. Well, there's a whole list of them in here. Railings, all that kind of stuff. And you'll notice we had it budgeted at 110, came in at 136, well, just shy of 136. And they'll take the remainder out of our sinking fund to cover the difference.
I can't remember, was there a fall or did something break?
Had a fall.
Incident.
Yeah.
Okay,
These are
triggered this.
still part of the emergency repairs.
Yes.
Yep,
Yep.
this is the second phase of that.
Thanks.
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to accept the quote from Minnesota Mechanical Solutions Incorporated for structural upgrades, Phase 2 of the wastewater facilities in the amount of $135,990.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Fort Ridgely Substation RTU replacement project.
Yeah. This project, you'll notice, is an unbudgeted project due to Nuvera eliminating pretty much all the copper line and going everything to fiber. We have to upgrade this equipment because this does not receive or communicate with fiber the way it's configured right now. We were already doing these projects. You did have in the budget the Center Street RTU replacement, which is ongoing also, but this has just been expedited by what Nuvera is doing. And again, this is an Excel's substation, so when they're willing to work, we try to accommodate their schedule.
Was this in the 5-year plan, or was it?
No, this is actually in the Fort Ridgely substation, so it wasn't anything that we were aware that Excel was going to be doing, but they notified us that they wanted to change this out, and so it just makes sense that we do it at the same time.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to authorize the city manager to accept the proposal from Power Systems Engineering Incorporated, PSC, to develop plans and specs, acquire and oversee the replacement of the remote terminal unit RTU at the Fort Ridgely substation in the amount of $59,000.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Center Street Substation Breaker Replacement Project. Dan again?
Yep. Again, this is replacing a 60-year-old breaker. We're working on a plan in the next 5 years. We have 5 breakers that are still the old oil breakers. These are SF6 gas. So it is in the 5-year plan, but we're requesting that we buy 2 breakers now because the lead time is 34 to 38 weeks, and we are finding more and more that they say 34 to 38 weeks. Maybe it shows up, maybe it doesn't. So this won't even be here until probably next April, where we'll already be trying to do our next projects, which will be putting another breaker, which will be the same model, same everything, into the north side substation at that time. So we're just trying to do our best to keep our projects moving on a timely manner in accounting for the delivery constraints we seem to be facing now.
So in the north side substation, this one's going in,
This is going in the center, but
Okay.
the second one will sit on the shelf till next year. Well,
they'll
show
both
up,
arrive next year, so they'll both be
Yeah.
put in next year,
they'll be
likely.
put in, and then we'll probably ask to order another one so that in '24 we can do it, just until the supply chain gets back in shape. It shouldn't take this long to get one,
Right.
but apparently it does now.
I'm sorry.
So you're asking for the 108, the budget for the
That's-
total project is 165, so the difference we'll see next.
The breaker is coming in at 54,400, and then we got labor to install and all that. We actually, well, it came in under what we had scheduled for the products and equipment. We'll budget the rest of the labor in next year's budget for doing the second project.
Really, if you were to look at without the timing, the 59,000 is over and above the 165, because it's going to take the 165
To do the
get-
first one,
to get Center Street done, yeah.
but we don't pay for any of them until next year anyway, so we'll
But,
be
you
carrying
know,
all this over.
We're finding we have to do business a little bit differently now with the supply chain issues and with everything else going on. And so trying to make sure that we have parts and things available, and also, keeping, our inventory may be going up a bit too, just to make sure that we have the transformers we need. They have a lead time of even longer. And so we're just having to plan ahead a lot further than what we typically have been doing, so.
So in both cases, I mean, with the first one, we budgeted this year, but we're not going to receive it till next year.
Right. So
And
it'll
the
be
one next year,
carryover.
we're going to receive next year too, and we're not going to pay for them until next year. So we're going to have a budget move anyways into 2023's budget, right?
Yeah, we'll
And
probably
not
do,
see that
we'll
spent.
probably do a carryover because there's an outstanding purchase order.
Right.
For the one this year. And then the north side is going to be, was considered to be a budget item for 2023 anyway, so,
Before it arrives, we'll be able to get it into the budget for next year.
absolutely.
Right. Perfect. Okay. I'll authorize the city manager to accept the bid from GE Grind Solutions LLC for two 69 kV breakers, one at the Center Street substation and one to be at the MDC to be used at the North substation in next year's project in the amount of $108,800.
Second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then we want to discuss the purchasing and approval procedures, much of which we discussed at our last work session, right?
President Heine, Commissioners, this is a document that basically, it's just for your information. It's a receive and order filed item. But we wanted to bring it back to you to make sure that you were in agreement, mainly with the items on the last page. The first, probably first 3 pages, and partially the fourth, those are for internal staff to basically know when bidding is required, when purchase orders are required, when we would need to go out for an RFP, that type of thing. And so that kind of lays this out. And then I thought that the approval process for the large and capital items, which you would deal with, fell nicely in this document as well. And so on the last page, that talks about the items that we talked about, looking at the all unbudgeted capital items coming to the commission for approval. Anything, and this is for capital items or large items, not maintenance. Anything 5,000 and below, it's not necessary to bring to the PUC Commission. However, we do have an internal policy that a purchase order is necessary over $2,500. The 5,000 to 50,000 is, that would be an informational item to the PUC, that this was a purchase or a project that would just go through as a receive and order filed type of item. And then the 50,001 and above, that's would require approval through acceptance through an agenda item for the commission. And then any over budget or change orders, if it's over 10% of an over budget, that's handled internally through a overage form. But if it's over that, then it would need to come to the commission for acceptance through an agenda item. So I just laid it out. This isn't necessarily, has to be the way that you want it to be, but that was what I kind of got from the discussion. If you want to change it or add anything, we certainly can do that.
And just as a reminder, the last four, B, C, D, and E, the amounts, those were for items that we presumably, that were all budgeted. So we had already, those projects would have already come before us. We would have approved them when we approved the budget. So we're just talking about,
Correct.
so those, yeah. So it's not like we're gonna not be aware of $50,000 being spent. It's just that it doesn't have to be brought to us at a meeting was the,
Doesn't have to be approved.
it doesn't have to be approved. Yeah, right.
Create some
Again,
efficiency.
yeah.
It was approved technically through the budget process,
Correct,
but.
right. So otherwise, this is consistent with my memory of what we kind of discussed at the work session.
And as well.
Yep, the kind of 5 and the 50 were the two numbers that we really were talking about.
And 5,000 fits well, actually, because that's our capital threshold. So anything over $5,000 would be a capital item.
Sure.
Typically, unless it's a maintenance item, but, so that fits well.
I'll
Oh.
offer the motion
Go ahead.
to receive and order filed the Public Utilities Purchasing and Approval Procedures.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks for putting that together. Water leak detection survey.
This is just, this is a survey that's done every year. It's conducted by Westrum Leak Detection. We hire them to come in and basically use, they have some amplifier equipment that they go around and they check the city for leaks. They do the entire city, and this year, they found 10 service line leaks and 3 fire hydrant leaks. Of that, 6 of the leaks were on the PUC side, and 4 of the leaks were on the owner side. All the owners were identified or notified that they had a leak on their system. And then we had 3 hydrants, which of course are public utility responsibility. Of that, of the PUC leaks, 5 have already been done, and of the 4 owner, I believe 2 have been completed as well. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and we attached the report that we got, so just so you know what's going on.
And you said we do this every year?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Kind of looking anxiously to see if your house is,
Yeah.
it's a nice
You would
chart
have been
that they
notified
added,
already.
yeah.
It's a
If it
former
was
building
yours.
I've recognized, but.
Yeah.
And are these leaks consistent? I mean, is that about what we have each year?
Well, you know, I asked the water supervisor too, and it's hard to say. It all depends on the type of winter sometimes that we have and things like that, but he did not feel that this was excessive in the number of, you know, we have 5,500 services probably. So, you know, if we've got 10 leaks, that's pretty minimal.
You know, to the homeowner, when they have to fix their leaks, kind of what cost they're looking at?
It ranges. It can be anywhere, I would imagine, from probably 3,000 to 5,000, depending on the length of the service. It could be more. Also, depending on the type of process they do. You know, we're starting to bore water services now, which is makes it more affordable for customers to do that. So I don't know if you have anything to add, George?
Ways you could save money on that, but
Yeah.
boring could be something.
So it kind of depends where the service is and maybe how deep it is and that type of thing, so.
Okay. All right, thanks. I'll make a motion to receive and order filed the report on the New Ulm Public Utilities Water Leak Detection Survey as prepared by Westrum Leak Detection.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then finally, we have our list of claims for the month.
I'll make the motion to accept list of claims paid in the amount of $3,462,649.81.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anything else the commissioners want to discuss? If not, we will be adjourned. Sometime I'll just say.